All right, thanks. My name is Mark Sagonis, and I'm the founder of HiBear Design Company. Next slide. And in 2015, my wife and I, we traveled to South America for the adventure of a lifetime. There we climbed the mountains of the Andes, we sailed the islands of the Galapagos, we traveled to some pretty remote villages. And if you want to get a cup of coffee there, you can't exactly go to the corner Starbucks, you've got to go to the market. And at the market, they don't serve coffee in a cup, they serve in a plastic bag. So it's something that you all should try at least once, but only once, because the coffee is absolutely terrible. But we also traveled with insulated bottles with us, which are fantastic for keeping your colds cold and your hots hot. But really where they're not so great is if you're trying to make any of your own beverages out on the road. We also got to see firsthand the impact that single-use plastic bottles have on the beaches and the environment. And so this really got us thinking that adventure travel really does need a better bottle. Next slide. And so we made one. We call it the All-Day Adventure Flask. And it is the solution to maximizing bag space and getting the most out of the stuff that you travel with. It is the Swiss Army knife of insulated bottles. You can craft all your favorite beverages from cold brew to cocktails, yet it's simple enough that you can use as your everyday water bottle. Next slide. So let me show you how it works. It has double wall stainless steel insulation in both the bottom and in the lid. There is a silicone sleeve on the bottom of the bottle that protects from small drops, which is also removable, so it doubles as a mug for friends with 2 legs or 4. It has all the advantages of a narrow mouth without the bottle brush. It opens up so you have access to everything inside, which makes it super easy to clean. We even added an internal glass finish that has all the advantages of glass without any of the breakability. There's a 12-ounce, 150 micron stainless steel filter on the inside that's perfect for tea, infusions, and my favorite, cold brew. There's also a thermal core that you pop in the freezer for an hour, keep your colds even colder without diluting them with ice. Now this is perfect for sangria and also white wine. Leave the glass at home. So there's also a strainer, cocktail strainer for, you guessed it, shaking cocktails and keeping out the backlash of teeth cracking ice. Then that's our signature feature is the lid even invert, so you can do pour over coffee with a V60 filter. And everything nests neatly inside, so there is no clutter, and it's simple enough that you can use as your everyday water bottle. Next slide. So actually, can you go ahead one slide? We have to go back to this one. Next slide. So how do we know that there's even a market for the All-Day Adventure Flask? Well, over the last 10 years, insulated bottles have exploded on crowdfunding. Companies like Yeti and Hydro Flask, who sold in 2015 for $210 million. And there's also been an increased appetite and demand for products that offer a whole lot more versatility out there. Our target market is adventure and travel enthusiasts between the ages of 21 and 45, although we are seeing some additional traction from the kitchen enthusiasts that appreciate coffee as well. And travel and coffee products have done historically well on crowdfunding. We find ourselves at the crossroad of all these areas here. Next slide. So this is the competitive analysis. The My Hydro is the custom Hydro Flask is $52. The Yeti, the 36-ounce Yeti is $49. For 35 incremental dollars, you get 10x the functionality out of anything else that's out there. Okay, you go back 2 slides. So how do we know that, one more slide, sorry. So how do we know that people are willing to spend that extra money for a HiBear All-Day Adventure Flask? Because they already are. We're currently live on Kickstarter right now. We've sold over 900 units with almost 70K in revenue over the past 15 days. We've received one of the most prestigious product design awards, the Red Dot Award, and we have a highly customizable design. And it's an opportunity that I'm particularly excited about because this enables us to do some B2B corporate sales for corporate gifting. We have 6 different color blocks and the ability to customize the undersleeve art. We also have a commitment to sustainability. We're 1% for the planet and we're climate neutral certified, which means that we buy carbon credits to offset our carbon footprint. All right, you can go ahead. I guess that's 4 slides. Sweet. Okay, so this is our timeline. Currently in crowdfunding right now. We'll finish that up. We've already wrapped up our tooling and our sampling. We're going to production from November to roughly about April, and we'll deliver to our backers in May. Although we have a pretty big buffer in there, so we're hoping to deliver a lot earlier. Another opportunity I'm really excited about is our partnership with Amazon Launchpad, who I got off the phone with yesterday, actually. It gives us an opportunity for startups like ourselves that have a unique value proposition outside of the homogeneous within the Amazon platform. And if our budget allows, that we would really like to do a Q4 product launch for the Everyday Flask series. Next slide.
Okay, but I have to cut you off and I can't reach the mute button.
That's all right.
With my screen sharing going on.
I'll mute myself starting
Okay.
now.
All right, so I'm going to have to stop screen sharing to do all the other wrangling that I do. So I think, actually, let me see if I can. All right, Steve, I see you have your hand raised. Why don't you go ahead and ask your question? I'll see if I can keep the screen share on in case you guys want to refer to any of the slides.
Yeah. Hey, we'll just ask our questions.
Hey, Mark, Steve Hurst.
Hey, Steve.
Great progress, man. Congrats.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate that. It's been a long road.
I've been watching it. So more comment, question, we should talk on the phone. I just found out that my daughter is on Yeti's product development team now. And when you're ready to talk, let me know.
Absolutely.
Okay, Jeff, did you have any questions?
Yeah, so Mark, where are you on your plan for crowdfunding? I mean, what was the goal? When were you supposed to hit it? How are you doing against that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we're halfway through our funding. Our original target was a lot more, and I think that we had to kind of pivot to the smaller number that we're currently in raise for. Although I think that it still shows proof of concept, even though we were hitting the numbers that we thought we were going to hit.
And the raise that you're working on now through crowdfunding,
sure.
And clearly you're pitching to us.
Yes.
Take me through where do you get to with the crowdfunding money? And then if you get money from us or somebody else, what does that do for you?
Yeah, of course. So crowdfunding right now, so we're about 70K. We're hoping to finish up around 130 or 140K. That'll leave us about 40K in the bank, 30 to 40K in the bank, depending on our return on ad spend, which is estimated towards the end of the campaign, which will have most of the ad dollars spent, because that's where we get the higher conversion rates. So we're looking at about a 3.5 return on ad spend. So hopefully anywhere from between $30,000 to $40,000 left in the bank. But if we had the money from Startup Envy, the additional 50,000 on top of the 30, that would enable us to leverage a little bit more inventory and have a stronger direct consumer launch, and also have some ad dollars that are funneling into Amazon Launchpad.
Tell us more about Amazon Launchpad.
Yeah, so it's an interesting platform so you don't have to be a startup per se, but have to have a unique value proposition outside of the kind of the homogeneous products that Amazon has. And so you get access to what's called A+ premium content presentation within Amazon, something that's typically only available to multi-million-dollar brands out there that sell their products through Amazon. So it's a way that we can kind of compete and differentiate ourselves, which is really important for us, considering that our product has so many different features. If we just took a picture of the bottle and then put it online, it would be dismissed immediately.
And are you considering any other channels like Costco or REI?
Yeah, I mean, REI definitely. I think that if we went the Costco route, that'd probably be a little bit more appropriate for the line that we'd like to launch either 2021 or 2022, which is the Everyday line, which is a little bit more of a simplified version of the All Day Adventure Flask. People that just love the design language of like who we are and what we do with the internal glass finish. Just presented to our audience that we've been developing over the last during crowdfunding here. But REI for sure, yeah. And
are you seeking any other funding? If so, what routes?
Right, yeah. So currently, I've been full throttle into crowdfunding right now. So that's the secondary funding outside of Startup Envy.
Okay.
And what's your burn rate now? And between what you're getting from crowdfunding and if you were to get the investment from FundNV, how long do you have? Because product companies are notoriously cash hungry.
Yeah. So that's the interesting part about us is that our biggest expense are going to be two things, and that's going to be inventory and then ad spend. And we could be smart about everything else. As long as right now we don't have money wrapped up in inventory, and we will, that burn rate is extremely low. So we're about $3,000 a month. That's definitely going to increase once we hit direct to consumer and we start monetizing those different lists that we've created in Facebook and Instagram.
And how much money do you need to buy the appropriate amount of inventory?
That's a fantastic question. So right now our MOQ is 3,000 units. So that's about 60 grand. We have to close out our tooling. That's another 20 grand. And so crowdfunding is going to help take care of that. And so we need to, obviously we don't want to wrap too much money up in inventory. So inventory planning is going to be a challenge. It's a bullet that we don't need to bite right now. When I was talking to Amazon, they said that they could kind of help plan inventory. But a mistake that most startups make is just having too much money wrapped up into their inventory within the Amazon platform. So I actually don't have the specific number yet, but yeah, it's something that I think about often.
Okay. How big is your email list?
Right now it's 14,000, but I would say that 5,000 of that is dead. But that list will be a lot different once those emails actually get released to us. Kickstarter actually doesn't release those email addresses until 2 weeks after the campaign with the money. And then from that list, we can create lookalike audiences and strengthen that list. I think that's kind of like one of the learning outcomes for like Kickstarter in general is that, the difference between somebody giving you money and getting an email are completely different things.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. So for the question period, we have 1 minute left. Anybody else have a question? Oh, Steve has his hand raised again.
And I want to know how many social followers do you have on the platforms after you answer Steve's question?
Yeah, it's cool. So I think we started with before the campaign, 4,200, maybe 4,000. And now we're at 6,500, I believe, on Instagram. So we've grown quite a bit, mainly because we did a partnership giveaway with Osprey Backpacks and an outside Instagram channel. And then we have a whole bunch of other campaigns that are on the books for the last 10 days of the campaign. That's going to just designed to drive traffic. And we're also working with GelUp, which is one of the most intelligent ad spend agencies in the world for crowdfunding.
Okay, Jeff, your comment?
Was it my turn again?
Oh, did you get to go, Steve? Go ahead.
No, so Mark, what's the ability at this point to get company logos in addition to HiBear logos and etchings and things, like on the cup or somewhere on the bottle? And when would you be able to take a 50 container order that was personalized for, any chance of getting anything done before Christmas?
Oh, no, definitely not before Christmas.
Definitely not before Christmas. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, I mean, the whole corporate planning, that is, or the B2B wholesale for corporate gifting and things like that, that is 100%.
How about May 30th next year?
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Hell yeah.
All right, Madeline will be in touch with you.
All right.
He's asking for himself.
Enough with the order.
No, we need MindMed logos on 50 to 100 of these things. So
Okay.
we'll be putting the order in.
Thank you, Mark.
Got it. Thank you.